Hi, I'm Barbara from Barbara Bakes at Badass Cakes. Today I'd like to show you how we make at Badass Cakes our vegan chocolate cake. It's moist, it's chocolatey, it's delicious. But before we go any further, don't forget to subscribe, like and turn on your notification button. Okay, so today we are making our vegan chocolate cake. It's the most popular chocolate cake that we sell at Badass Cakes. We are sure you're going to love it. So we have our ingredients here, and all the ingredients lists, the list of ingredients will be available below, so you can get those later, or you can write them down as we go along. We're going to start with 250 mils of water, cold water, 125 mils of vegetable oil, we are going to add, this is apple cider vinegar, and we are going to add, just using the cap, 2 full caps should be sufficient, which is equivalent to 2 to 3 teaspoons, and then a splash of vanilla, again probably about 1 teaspoon. To this we are going to add bicarb, or what do the Americans call it? Bicarb baking soda, and we are going to put in 1 teaspoon of bicarb, and then 200 grams of caster sugar, and our flour, it's plain flour, and some really good quality Dutch cocoa powder. And the flour, we have 280 grams of that and 45 grams of cocoa powder. We're going to mix that all together. I'll show you the batter as we mix it, and we'll put that into our tins. The important thing about this chocolate cake, this vegan chocolate cake, is that you don't overmix it. It's really, really important that you don't overmix it, and that will give you a lovely, moist, chocolatey, delicious chocolate cake. As you can see here, we have everything in our mixing bowl. I'm using a Kenwood mixer to mix this. You can mix it by hand if you like, or I also have a KitchenAid that I use as well, and we can talk on Facebook more about equipment in the group if you join us in our group. So here we go. I'm going to put it on a slow mix to start, just to incorporate the ingredients, and then I'm turning it up after about 10 seconds, and we're going to mix it for, well, until it's all incorporated, but there may still be a few lumps that you can see, and we'll finish it by hand. That's it. That's all the mix it needs. So we've just mixed it with the attachment. We're going to give it a few mixes with the spatula to take out any flour or cocoa powder that might be left on the bottom. I give it a few mixes, and that's as much mixing as it needs. So after that, we're going to put it in the tins. Now then, I've prepared 2 6-inch tins. They have just a piece of parchment paper in the bottom. My tins, I know them very well, so I know that they won't stick on the sides, so I don't need to do anything to the tins. That whole mix that we have will go in a 9-inch tin if you want to make, you know, a birthday cake or a celebration cake, again with the parchment in the bottom. I'm not using this tin today, but I just want you to know that you can use that amount of cake batter for this size tin. I'm making 2 small ones today, so I'm going to pour it in the tins, and then we can get it in the oven. Now, I've been baking for a very long time, so I use my eye to guide how much batter I put in each tin. You may want to put it on the scale and weigh it. Look at that, perfect, almost. but I just eyeball it. And we are ready for the oven. So there we are, lovely thick cake batter, not too thick, not too thin, nice and glossy, and they are both the same, as you can see. I'm going to put these in the oven now for around 35 to 40 minutes. Oven temperature 325, between 160 and 170, which is a moderate oven, and like I say, for about 35 to 40 minutes. See you on the other side. Our cake is ready. So let's go to the oven and see what it looks like. Now then, this is very interesting. I wanted to show you this because this is what a lot of you will ask me about. Why does your cake crack on the top? And as you can see, there are cracks on the surface, and we're going to get into that a little bit later when we've turned it out of the tin. Very nice. So the parchment should peel off really easily, very nicely. And as you can see, the surface of the cake is, the bottom of the cake, should I say, is nice and smooth. The paper hasn't stuck to it at all. We're going to flip that over so we can talk about the cracks, and also we'll cut it so that you can see what a delicious vegan chocolate cake you have, which is very popular at Badass Cakes. So, just to talk a little bit about the surface of the cake and why it's got the cracks in. Now that could be for two main reasons. One reason is that you've loaded with a little bit too much flour and it's been heavy as you've mixed it. But the main reason is that your oven was too high. If you cook at a lower temperature, the baking powder and the raising ingredients in the cake won't react with the heat, because the carbon dioxide comes out of the baking powder when your cake is in the oven, and it leaves a crust when the oven is too high. So if you turn the temperature down by, depending on your oven, because all our ovens work differently, but if your oven is say 165, you might need to turn it down to 160, or even just under 160, to make sure that the top of the cake is flat, smooth and perfectly ready for your vegan buttercream. Okay, so let's take a slice so we can see what it looks like inside. Now you can hear the crunch of the crust of that cake, which is really not what you want to hear, although inside of the cake it will still look delicious. As you can see, we have a lovely textured sponge. It's very close, there's no holes in it, and it looks light and moist. That's what you want from your mix when you make your own vegan chocolate cake. Now, one important thing, we never serve a piece of cake on the side. It's always important to serve it standing up so you can see your slice and you can be proud of what you've made. Once you head to our Facebook page, send me a picture of your cake that you've made, and we can talk about any problems that you may have had, any successes that you've had, and we can move on to the next one. Hi there, in our kitchen today we have West End star Ashford Campbell. He is an all-rounder, actor, singer, dancer, everything, and he's also a keen chef. Ashford's come to try our vegan chocolate cake that we've just made, so tuck in. Fingers crossed.
Is this vegan?
It's deliciously vegan. This is one of our most popular cakes at Badass Cakes, so here we go. What do you think?
Tastes like Betty Crocker. Oh! I usually stay away from any vegan products. because I can't help myself and they just don't taste the same, but I'm just going to take this away.